Welcome back, dear students. Let us continue from where we had stopped in the last class. Uh, so, we were at page 18, and his mother uh, gave him another phrase in reply to what he had said, and she wanted him to stay on, face the entire situation, and make the best out of the given situation. She didn't want him to run away from it, and that is what she was trying to teach him. So we continue with the next paragraph. Well, I don't know that we do, said Bruno. What did Bruno said? Bruno, what did Bruno say? Sorry, Bruno said that he did not know anything, and he would want his mother to do exactly what he was asking her to do. That they return to Berlin. That is the meaning of I don't know that we do. I don't know that we do, meaning he said that he wanted to go back to Berlin, and that would be the good for the entire family, and he wanted his mother to follow exactly what he was asking her to do. And I think you should just tell father that you've changed your mind, and well, if we have to stay here for the rest of the day and have dinner here this evening and sleep here tonight because we're all tired, then that's all right. But we should probably get up early in the morning if we are to make it back to Berlin by tea time tomorrow. So this is what he said. He told his mother to go to his father, convince him and tell him that she had changed her mind, and that it was fine with him if the family would stay that night in that place because they had traveled a long distance and have dinner there. But if they were to return to Berlin the next day, they would have to rise up early and make sure leave early so that they would reach Berlin by tea time the following day. That is what he tried to tell his mother, and he was insisting that he would not hear of anything else, and that he wanted his mother to follow and do exactly what he was saying. Mother sighed. Now she let out a deep breath. She let out a deep breath, expressing her helplessness, and she did not know how to convince her son to see what she wanted him to do. That is why she sighed, Sighed, sighed. Bruno, why don't you just go upstairs and help Maria unpack? She asked, and she just asked Bruno to divert his mind, to change his mind, to have him occupied with something to do, so that he would not keep on arguing with her and trying to reason with her. And she told him that it would be better if he stop reasoning with her and go upstairs and help Maria unpack his things. But there's no point unpacking if we are only going to, and she stopped him there before he could complete what he was trying to say. So he had said there was no point in unpacking the things if they were not going to stay on there. And that is where his mother intervened. Intervened, intervened, stopped him, and she said, Bruno, just do it, please. Snapped mother. Snapped mother means she replied here in this context. She asked him to do exactly what she was asking him to do. She instructed him to go up and help Maria unpack his things, and she snapped. She snapped means she brought him to an abrupt, sudden halt in his speech. To snap means to bring someone to a stop all of a sudden, and she intervened, she interrupted. You understand? She snapped means she interrupted and brought him to a sudden stop with regards to what he was intending to say, what he was going to say. And she did it in an authoritative manner. She did it in an authoritative manner. Authoritative, authoritative manner, with authority. And she was firm in what she had said, and she was implying she was implying indirectly in the manner in which she said, she was asking him to follow what she was telling him to do, and she was implying his obedience. She was implying for his obedience. She was asking him to follow her instructions and not arguing and not argue with her. So therefore, gentlemen, she snapped. She brought him to a sudden stop in what he was saying, and she asked him to do exactly what she was asking him to do. Mother, because apparently it was all right if she interrupted him, but it didn't work the other way round. So it was fine for her to intervene and snap at him and stop him from carrying on speaking, or stop him from speaking what he was intending to say. But it would not be right, it would not be appropriate, and it would not be considered good behavior if little Bruno had done the same thing with her. So, from her point of view, it was correct on her part to bring the little child to a sudden stop in his speech, but it would be considered ill mannered if Bruno had done the same. And then she went on to say, "We are here, we've arrived. This is our home for the foreseeable future, and we just have to make the best of things. Do you understand me?" And she made it very, very clear that they had come there, they had arrived there, and that was going to be their home for the foreseeable future. Foreseeable future means as far as she could visualize, as far as she could see things in the near future, as far as she could predict in the near future. Visualize, Visualize, as far as she could see that that particular house was going to be their home. And she also made it very clear that they would have to make the best out of the things that they had at that moment. Do you understand me? She questioned him whether he had comprehended, whether he had clearly understood what she was meaning to tell him. He didn't understand what the foreseeable future meant and told her so. So this little boy, this 9-year-old boy, did not understand the term foreseeable future, foreseeable, emphasizing on that word. And he told his mother very clearly that he had not understood what she had meant by the term foreseeable. And he was just a little innocent boy. And so he just spoke out his heart and his inability to understand what she had said by that big term foreseeable. And he confessed that. And she, in turn, tried to explain to him what she exactly meant by that word. It means, she said, that this is where we live now, Bruno, said mother, and that's an end to it. And she made it very clear to him that that house where they had arrived, that would be their new home, and that is where they would have to continue to live. And that was the end of their discussion. She would not want to listen any further. Bruno couldn't understand how this had all come about. One day he was perfectly content playing at home with three best friends for life, sliding down banisters, trying to stand on his tiptoes to see right across Berlin, and now he was stuck here in this cold, nasty house where no one looked as if they could ever be cheerful again. And Bruno could not come to understand how this had occurred. How this had occurred so suddenly. The word is occurred. Come about means how it had occurred, how it had happened. The spelling of this word occurred, OCCURRED, occurred. Now, just the other day, as far as he could recall, it was just the other day that he was perfectly content. Content means that he was perfectly satisfied. SATISFIED, satisfied, happy, joyous, playing at home with three best friends for life who he considered would be his best friends all his life, and it would never change. Sliding down banisters, sliding down, you understand the meaning of sliding down, and banisters are handrails or structures made of sometimes concrete, metal, or wood, used as a support along staircases. Used as a support along staircases, gentlemen. And he remembered playing with his friends and how happy and satisfied he was sliding down banisters in Berlin, trying to stand on his toes, on his tiptoes, on the tip of his toes, and extending his neck, stretching his neck to see right across Berlin. And now he was stuck here in this cold, nasty house where no one looked as if they could ever be cheerful again. And he realized how suddenly things had changed for him, and there he was, in that cold, nasty means unpleasant, nasty house where no one looked, where no person present appeared to him that they could be happy again. Bruno, I want you to go upstairs and unpack, and I want you to do it now, she said. Who said? Mother said. His mother said to him. She was very firm, and there was this sternness in her voice, and he realized that. So mother said it in an unfriendly voice, expecting her instructions to be followed and not overlooked or evaded or avoided by this little boy or her son Bruno. And she had adopted this very stern and firm tone to make it very clear that that is what exactly she wanted him to do. And he recognized this sternness in her voice. On Gentlemen, and he knew immediately that his mother was very serious and she would not accept any kind of arguments from him. So he knew that she meant business, that she was very serious, and whatever she was saying, she wanted him to do it. So he turned round and marched away without another word, without extending their conversation or without trying to reason. He left and did exactly what she had asked him to do. Gentlemen, on his floor there were just 4 doors, 2 on either sides, facing each other. A door into his room, a door into Gretel's room, a door into mother and father's room, and a door into the bathroom. So it was a simple structure. On this floor, on the floor that he was to stay, there were just 4 doors, 2 on each side. Okay, 2 on either side, facing each other. A door into his room, a door into Gretel's room, his sister's room, a door into mother and father's room, and there was a door that led to the also into the bathroom. That's fairly easy for you to that's very easy for you to understand. This isn't home, and it never will be, he muttered. So he said that that could not be their home, and it wasn't their home, and it would never be their home. He muttered means he said something. The word muttered, muttered, muttered means to say something in a low and inaudible voice or manner. Inaudible, 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 only for himself to be able to hear and not the others around him. So he muttered in a low and barely audible manner. He did not want, he said it softly for himself, and he didn't want anybody to hear what he had said. That is why he muttered under his breath. That is the meaning of to mutter something under one's breath, to speak something softly for self and not intending others to hear it under his breath. And he went through his own door to find all his clothes scattered on the bed, and the boxes of toys and books are not even unpacked yet. So he went through his door, and he found that all his things were scattered on the bed, and the boxes of toys and books that he had got from Berlin, they were all lying unpacked. And it was obvious that Maria did not have her priorities right, and he understood that Maria had not given him importance. Now, the word priority, 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 meaning something that is considered important and should be done first. So, by looking at all of his things scattered and unpacked yet, he thought that Maria had not treated him fairly, that Maria should have unpacked his things first and consider it as very important for her to do it first. She hadn't done so, and meaning to say that she had got her agenda wrong. She had given more importance to the other members of the family, especially Gretel, and not treated him with importance when she should have actually unpacked his things and considered it utmost of utmost importance and do it first. That is the meaning of Maria did not have her priorities right. So he thought that Maria did not do things that were supposed to be considered most important for her to be done first. Instead, she gave importance to the other members of the family, and that is why he thought so. Mother sent me to help, he said quietly. He sat down and he told Maria that he had been sent by his mother to help her unpack his things. Maria nodded and pointed towards a big bag and that contained all his socks and vests and underpants. And Maria, listening to him and following her mistress's orders, she pointed out to him uh, a big bag that contained all his socks, vests, and underpants, and asked him to have them all sorted out and piled up. And then she told him, if you sort that lot out, you could put them in the chest of drawers. Chest of drawers, collective noun. Again, gentlemen, chest of drawers. So she asked him, After he would finish sorting them out, separating them, and then pile them up in correct order, he could put them in a chest of drawers over there, pointing out to a chest of drawers uh, mm, uh, in the room beside a mirror that was covered in dust. Now, chest of drawers, again, gentlemen, coming back to it, chest of drawers meaning here a collective noun is used. What is collective noun? A word that is used to name a collection of things, similar things of the same kind. For example, a bunch of keys, a pile of books, a bunch of grapes, a bouquet of flowers. So, a chest of drawers here. Uh, and there was this chest of drawers, and beside it there was this old mirror, and it was all covered in dust because it had not been used for long. It seemed by that the house had not been occupied by people for long, and it needed to be dusted well. Gentlemen, till there, and we will continue in the next video.